Welcome back to Stationeers. And we need to get rid of our problematic gases that auto-combusted last episode. So that'll be quite straightforward, I think, because we've got a sort of pipe here coming from the back of our furnace, but that pipe is right next to this, which is the input to our waste pipe. So yeah, I think we should be able to do this quite quickly and easily. So let's just pop in here for a second, because we're not using this furnace anymore. And that's a valve. This is a volume pump. Okay, so let's just grab our tools and we'll get that sorted first. So yeah, that's going to complain. I'm going to want to replace you with a T-junction just temporarily. There we go. And then just grab another section. In fact, let's just pull all this apart, and then we'll just put two corners in. Okay, now that should already be pulling all of our sort of high temperature combusted gases out of this pipe, hopefully. Yeah, it's doing it slowly. Do I have enough battery power to do that fast? No. If only I had a gas generator that worked. Yeah, so I'm going to need to go and mine, clearly, very, very soon. But just to get that started, that will do fine. It's not that slow. It will work fine. So let's just get upstairs, and I probably want to rename a few things, because we're just going to change our gas mixer setup to something that doesn't actually look at a tank. It actually just wants to look at these two things. So fuel tank pressure, no, we're going to change that. So let's just grab that's not my renaming tool. I should switch over to using the mouse more often, but just old habits die hard. So this is going to be the fuel pipe pressure. Because I'm going to go try something simple first, and if something simple doesn't work, what we'll have to do is run both of these pipes out towards the gas generator. I don't want to really do that, but you know, I guess we could. Oops, I guess we could. And then what is this going to be? Compare pipe to a maximum value, not minimum, because the maximum value I've just already set over here is this. It used to be 500. I would fill the tank full of fuel if it was below 500 kPa. We don't actually want that. We want to keep a small amount of fuel in this pipe as much as possible. So, and then we've got a writer. So this one's going to be turn on mixer if fuel low. And fuel low here is basically if it's less than 1 kPa. So it's going to be quite low. Yeah, so let's just put that away. And there we go. Do I have my screwdriver? So we're taking the compare pipe to max value. So this is if the fuel pipe pressure is less than the tank refill pressure, but I need to change that as well, because that's not the tank refill pressure value. Max safe fuel pressure. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I really need to put that block in place. Is it already in place? I just not welded it. Do I have any steel sheets on me? I do. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's just actually fix this problem. There we go. Much better. Put my welding torch away. Right. So now this is fuel pipe pressure. Is it less than the same max safe fuel pressure? At the moment it is less, because that is disconnected from all of this. I don't want to reconnect this until this is entirely empty, of course, because then we'll turn off the volume pump down there. That's no longer going to be automatic. Speaking of automatic, there is a couple of changes in this version, and if you don't know about them, we should be able to create a volume logic rider switch now. I think they must have heard me when I said I wanted some kind of switch. Well, it's not quite a power switch, but it is another kind of switch, so, you know, I guess you gotta take it as you come. So basically how this works is you set this up like a regular logic writer. The only real difference is, and a suitable use for this is down here. See where I've got this that actually switches on the furnace? I could replace that with one of those up there, and if I wanted, not the furnace, the gas generator I should say. If I wanted to replace it with the one up there, I could then manually flip the switch rather than needing this setup to independently flip the switch. So quite a nice change. There is also another circuit board for the what's it called? Ground penetration radar. If you have a look in here, I've probably got it somewhere else. The ground penetrating radar goes as scans for ores, but you can put a cartridge in your personal computer that will show you the ores where they are. There's a new version that shows them by color, so now you can see the difference between them, which again, very much wanted for quite some time. So very happy with both of those changes. You may see me using, you may not. I don't tend to do too much mining on camera, but suffice it to say, I approve. I approve a lot. Where's the other logic? Didn't I just pull one off the ground? I'll remember later. In any case, we take this compare pipe to max value, and there it is, and we're going to write to something. And it used to be the fuel refill valve, which used to be here, if I think I remember correctly, but now we actually want the mixer. So let's just select that. We call it fuel refill gas mixer. Okay, so fuel refill gas mixer. Change it to the on setting and that will turn it on. Of course, that won't actually cause any gas to flow into here at the moment because one of these pipes are empty. And in fact, I probably don't even need this valve. No, I don't think I do. Because we're now controlling it independently at least anyway, so we can probably get rid of that, hopefully. I normally find out I actually did need these things later, but that is okay. And I guess we can also just get rid of this valve. Would have thought so. So just, yeah, deconstruct valve. There we go. And we're going to need a little bit of pipe just to replace them. There we go. So that should be okay for now. I am going to need to replace this once. In fact, has it finished depressurizing yet? 17. Okay, that's going to take a little bit more time. Shall we turn it up? No, the batteries are nearly dead. We'll leave that as is. We'll let it depressurize itself. Now, while that depressurization is happening, I got told in the comments that you can void heat at the moment. So thank you, Eric, for letting me know that. I think I'll just take a look here and see if that actually works on this particular branch and version. I expect that to be something that probably should be fixed, I would have thought. I'm not sure. Well, they just need to add a simple check to do that, but let's just put in a three-way junction. When I select junction properly. Okay, and let's just depressurize our cooling pipe and let's just see if this works. So I just flipped the volume pump around. And you should be able to see this is depressurizing. It is. Good. This volume pump is it running at full speed? Half speed. Okay. That's fine. And we'll wait for that to empty before we turn on our coolers again. Let's see how well it does. I'm just going to turn this off for a second. Don't need that filtration for the moment. And how's this doing? So inside we have O2H2, just exactly what we want. It's high temperature, but it's very low pressure. An important point here is that we know that this isn't going to auto-combust if we keep our pipe to 1 kPa because it's right here. I can demonstrate it. So if that's the case, although it is 0.5 moles of O2 and 0.02 of H2, so yeah, we may have to mix them but more thoroughly, but yeah, we'll see. So on that side of it, it's now at 8 pascals even, so that's really quite low, and we're just going to wait for it to completely empty. It takes a little while when it gets low down. But remember to leave this regulator here. Because what we're effectively doing, we're getting a very low pressure, but a high volume pipe here, essentially, because it's so long. So we don't want to let when we turn on the gas generator, if we just leave it as is, it's going to try and pull all the gas through that entire pipe all the way back to the mixer. And we don't want that to actually happen all at once. It would cause a huge spike in power. We'll probably blow lots of things, and we probably just don't want that. So yeah, and I guess I'm just going to get rid of this pipe. It got blown up. Let's just replace that with something else. Okay, so have you finished yet? 3 pascals. Not long, but once essentially it hits 0, we can turn on this regulator, and then we can go back up to the top and put a pipe in place, and then the system will be set. We just have to then go and mine some more volatiles, because it's volatiles that I basically used up with the auto combustion event. Okay, let's wait for that to happen. And I did test this by evacuating that pipe. It doesn't work. Those wall coolers will turn orange, start flashing if there is no atmosphere in the pipe they're connected to. Everything else was perfect. That was the only thing. So as soon as I refilled this pipe, they turned back to green and they turned back on. So sorry, you can't void heat. So sorry, Eric, but they must have fixed that one. In any case, back down to minus 250, well, 150, sorry, and still dropping in here. And then this is how close are you? I connected up this side as well just to evacuate all the auto-combusted stuff. And the mix was wrong anyway, even if it wasn't auto-combusted. So that's down to 6 PA now. And yeah, so as soon as that's finished, I've been and done some mining. And I've got now some volatiles and oxygen in there. There we go. So hydrogen minus, well, yeah. 0.6 Celsius. Oxygen, 17.9. Both of these will probably heat up to about 20 degrees during the day, etc. And it's probably slightly less than that as average. But we've got 7,000 moles, and this one got 1,000 moles. There is a small patch of hydrogen volatiles just down there, so it's not really... I actually went out for a long run, came back and found it right next to my base. I think I've seen that before, and I forgot to remember it, I suppose. In any case, I just need to wait for this now to drop down to 0, at which point I can turn the volume mixer off down there, volume pump off down there, and turn this system on, and then it should feed in the correct pressure to our network. Alright, so now we're down to, what is it in this pipe network? 916 pascals. So if I turn this on, it should turn on the mixer, but I've got a feeling this mixer will be too fast. It'll actually fill up this pipe too much. But we've got another regulator further on, so let's give this a go. And pipe network, yes, it did turn on, but in that brief moment it filled it with 102 kPa. So we'll see if that causes an auto-combustion event again at some point, and if it does, then we will put another regulator in or run 2 pipes. But for now, let's just see what's on this side. So this side is 900 kPa. Let's turn the pressure regulator on. That should be a 1 kPa. Good. It's slightly incorrectly mixed, but nothing too severe. Our wall coolers are a bit problematic at the moment just because they've reduced the volume of this. Yeah, it's too low for them to activate. Well, one of them's activated, but I am feeding in more with a filtration unit, so that is also good. They will have heated up our pollutant. Yeah, high network, 118, good. And now let's see if this whole thing will turn on, shall we? In fact, have I got all the electronics turned on and available? Logic writer should be writing 1. I may have to kick this off, so let's just push the button and let's see if that actually starts it up. If it doesn't, I'll try and activate it manually. What's the temperature? Oh, the temperature's not high enough in there right now. Needs to be warmer, and daytime will make it warmer, but maybe not as much because we've got a higher pressure in there. So I am going to need to re-hook up that air conditioning unit, I think, that I did last episode. That's a tank. I don't need the tank for now. I don't think... Do I have a spare air conditioning unit? Interesting. I do, because I can take this one back. Good. Because we shouldn't need the filtration as long as there's not an auto combustion event. And then we will put an air conditioner back in. Pop onto this side, and we want to set it to 30. Start. And that should start increasing the temperature in there, as long as all the connections are still valid. Yep, it's rising now, but we're losing power. Time for another race against power. Okay, I think we're ready for a test. Let's see if this will start the cycling on. Let's turn it to 1. Has that turned you on? No, it hasn't. It's very odd. Should be capable of being. It's 32 degrees. I'm just going to turn this air conditioner off now. We shouldn't need it. Let's pull it on manually. Yep, it's on. Good. And it's turned back off again. The temperature has risen to 50, but that's rapidly dropping. Okay, is it dropping because these are on? Yes, the filtration units are on, which means the trading atmosphere in here somewhere, hopefully. And, well, it's sort of working. Let's see if this side is working as well. Yeah, it's moving all the gas around, certainly. There we go. So it's at 48 degrees. That's not really working on this side. That should be much lower than that, because it should be swapping with this room entirely. Okay, so I took the filtration units out and the temperature is rapidly dropping now. It's expanding first of all into the rest of this pipe section, which is one way that this might work. The other thing, of course, is that this room is going to be very, very cold now. So when it runs through all of this pipe work, it should naturally get depleted. There we go. So let's see what happens if we turn it on at the same time as our open pipes now. So let's turn this back off again. Are you still cycling? No, let's turn you on manually. All right, so it's on. Temperature is still rising. It's falling quite quickly once it's finished its cycle. So maybe, do we have enough low battery power yet? Those are going to complain because I removed the filtration units. Let's start this off again with the auto or on circuit. And are you indeed back on? No. Why are you not being able to write to that gas fuel generator? Okay, set it on. Now push the button. Okay, so it's rising to 80, 70, 80, etc., 90. That vent is not turning on, so we're not getting rid of this atmosphere at all, but it is heating up. Interesting. Well, it turns on anyway, even if it's a high temperature. And is that enough on this side? Yeah, you see, it's just enough atmosphere to turn these wall coolers on. They've just got warm enough, or this room's just got warm enough again to turn them on, which should hopefully then sink the heat again on this side more effectively. Well, we may need to find some way of speeding that up. That's still rising too much. Of course, the filtration units would have done that, but when we connect them, or maybe the way I had them connected, they weren't going to work too well. Interesting. Let me just investigate that a little bit more. Okay, so it is naturally finding in equilibrium without me doing anything. It's basically bringing the temperature back under control here, but at the same time, over here, we got more of an issue. These wall heaters, or wall coolers, I should say, well, the pressure in there is rising now. It's still minus 65, but they are having to find a new equilibrium. And that should be interesting to see where that actually goes to. I don't know I haven't looked at what the windows will actually pressurize to, but I don't necessarily want to get them too much higher than that. However, those wall coolers are on all the time, so as soon as we get enough battery power, this should shut off, the whole system should fall again, And we should be okay, I think, because all we have to do is basically add another, if we need to, we can add another room over there with more wall coolers just to be able to bring the temperature down faster. And if we want the transmission to be higher between the two systems, I think what we can do inside this room is just replace these two passive vents with lots of wall radiators on the same pipe network. So, you know, they'll sort of accumulate all the heat from this side, transfer the heat out and in faster, and hopefully it will keep time. So that is fine for now. So are we still needing the battery power? It should shut off pretty soon. Hopefully not before that window ruptures, but we'll see. 148 degrees again, it's going up. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to wait a little while until it cuts off, and let's see what the behavior is like when it cuts off. Okay, there it is. Our battery is now low. And that means the system is no longer on, which means the temperature should begin falling. It is. And now let's go and see if this survived. No, it didn't survive. The window blew out. So that is one reason for maybe enclosing this thing in an entire block. So that that sort of works, but yeah, I'm going to need to rebuild that now, and I repressurize so that everything can recool again. So yeah, we need to make a few changes. Okay, here we go. Let's just put a frame down here and one here. We'll grab a passive vent, connecting it up on this side, and then we'll just weld everything up. So one there. And two here. Now from now, we're not going to be able to see what's going on inside, but high pressure should be just fine. We're going to have to re-add atmosphere. That may take it a little while, but because this is going to start cooling as soon as it hits 6 or 7 kPa. If you just watch that in a second, well, it shouldn't take very long. I've just extended the cable this way, and if we ever need this volume pump again, we can obviously reconnect it somewhere else. Out here maybe. Yeah, let's leave it there just in case we need it. And I've got a tank around somewhere. Have you started cooling yet? You have. It's starting to drop. Okay, and that is still connected with these now straight pipes straight into the inside. And of course, if we need to do any speed improvements to that, we can do. So that should mean the temperature is dropping. It is. Good. We have more than 40% in our battery, of course, because it is daytime at the moment. So that should trigger again once it hits nighttime. We're not going to need either of those two things at the moment, but if we do, we'll need to put them to pumps or something like that. And we may still need to optimize the inside of this block. We may need to make it one taller or something like that, but other than that, we have a cooling system that does work, but it just needs to be for sort of force-fed maybe. I did try the filtration units. They didn't seem to work. You know, putting one way, one the other didn't work. May try that with a volume pump, just pushing that way, but we'll see how well that goes. I think that, you know, it may just be radiators on the inside of our gen room that may well improve that. So now I have to look at this. I'll probably put a display on the outside, actually. I think we've got a sensor in there. So it's dropping to minus 120. Good, good, good. And by the time we actually get to needing it, which should be sometime during the night, we should be more than capable of getting this temperature down. Yep. So I'm quite happy with that. I think I'll leave it there for a short episode. I'm sure there will be some miscellaneous improvements that people will suggest to this, but it now seems to be functioning. Or the only thing left is to really just try and optimize the sort of heat transfer, really. Other than that, I'm not low on power anymore, and I can probably build more batteries, and I think I probably will do that, just so that if we do have any kind of situation where I need a lot more power, I have a much larger buffer. Might even consider putting one, you know, the next tier up, but I think first we'll fill that in. So there's like there's 5 there at the moment, so 10 should come up to roughly about here. 12, maybe 14, but maybe just 10 batteries will do. I need to do some mining before I get to that though. 71 degrees and falling. We do need to still cut this system off though, however, because at the moment Yeah, at the moment, if I just leave it like that, because there's no protection here without valves, and I could put valves in, it will continue to fall to whatever the temperature is inside the room, and it's minus 184, which is too cold to start up the generator in the first place. So we may still need some way of doing that. However, maybe I'll leave those suggestions up for you to suggest between the episodes. So if you do have any suggestions, do let me know, as normal. I did put in a feature suggestion on the subreddit for this, for the copy and paste thing with a data card. I really hope that comes in. That's a really nice option. And I think now I'm going to probably be doing more building. I want to build the ceiling in, get some more lights on the subject so that I don't need to worry while I'm working on in the base about my backpack light. And we'll see you next episode for some more Stationeers. As always, guys, feel free to like, subscribe, and share if you've enjoyed the episode. Otherwise, do let me know in the comments. Lastly, as always, thanks for watching.